Ever had nightmares watching a movie? Chances are it was because of a truly chilling villain. A great movie villain does more than just scare us. They captivate us, making their stories unforgettable. They are the reason the good guys have to be brave. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 scariest movie bad guys ever. These are the ones who really made us jump, the ones we remember long after the movie ends. First on the list is Norman Bates, the quiet and shy manager of the small Bates Motel. He seems harmless at first, but there's a dark side to him. Norman struggles with a split personality disorder, where his other side, Mother, takes over. He dresses in his mother's clothes and acts as she would, strict and cruel. Norman is freaky because he seems so normal and lonely, yet he hides a terrifying secret. His alter ego Mother can snap and turn him into a killer without warning. The most shocking moment is the infamous shower scene. Norman, as Mother, murders Marion Crane in her motel room shower. It's sudden, brutal, and completely unexpected, marking it as one of the most iconic scenes in horror movie history. Next up, we have Samara Morgan, who is the ghostly villain. She was once a young girl with special powers that let her send images straight into people's minds, which scared everyone, including her adoptive mom. Unlike other villains, Samara doesn't chase people around with weapons. Instead, she uses her powers to frighten them in their own minds, leading them to their doom without ever being seen. It's all in their heads, and that's what truly terrifies them. The most chilling scene is when Samara comes out of a television. Her black, wet hair covers her ghostly, pale, and twisted face. Her once white nightgown turns dark and tattered as it gets wet. This scene shows why Samara is a legendary figure in horror movies, bringing a new kind of scare to the screen. As number 8, we have Pennywise, a conniving clown from Stephen King's horror story It. Pennywise can change his shape to scare children in Derry, Maine, appearing as whatever frightens them the most. He's not just a clown, he's a monster that feeds on fear. Pennywise is extra terrifying because he looks like a friendly clown, something that inspires fun with kids, but he's actually a personified nightmare, turning any kid's biggest fear into a walking, talking reality. An incredibly spooky scene is when Pennywise, pretending to be friendly, meets little Georgie by a storm drain. He offers Georgie back his lost boat, but then morphs his face into a teeth-filled creature. This moment is shocking because it shows us just how dangerous and deceitful Pennywise can be when he feels like it, using a child's trust against them. At number 7, we have Ghostface, the notorious villain from the Scream movie series. He wears a creepy white mask and a long black cloak, hiding his true identity. Ghostface is terrifying because he could be anybody. The mask and voice disguise are easy to get, blending the killer into everyday life. His method of taunting victims over the phone adds a personal and chilling touch, making him especially menacing. The opening scene of Scream is one of the most iconic. Ghostface calls teenager Casey Becker, quizzes her on horror movies, and then horrifically attacks. This scene sets the chilling premise for Ghostface's unpredictable terror and shows that no one in his town is safe. Next up, we have Chucky, a notorious villain from the Child's Play franchise, now starring in his own TV series Chucky. The series, which is a sequel to the film Cult of Chucky, features the infamous doll committing terrifying murders in a quiet American town. Voiced by Brad Dourif, Chucky is a doll possessed by the soul of serial killer Charles Lee Ray. Chucky's horror comes from the juxtaposition of his innocent doll appearance with his deadly nature. He's small and looks harmless, but inside he's a cunning serial killer with a knack for stealth and voodoo magic. This makes him unpredictable and particularly menacing. In the new series, an eerie scene unfolds when 14-year-old Jake Wheeler discovers the doll he bought is possessed. As Chucky reveals his true murderous intentions, the terror he can unleash from such a small, supposedly innocuous object becomes chillingly clear. Moving along, we have Leatherface, a chilling addition to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. Directed by Julian Maury and Alexandra Bustillo, this film is a prequel that reveals the origins of the infamous Leatherface. Set before the events of the original 1974 film, it dives deep into how a young boy named Jedediah Sawyer became the monstrous serial killer known as Leatherface. Leatherface is terrifying not just for his gruesome mask made of human skin or his preference for chainsaws as weapons, but also for his twisted background. Raised in a family notorious for murder and cannibalism, his transformation into Leatherface is a dark journey through abuse and madness. The film opens with a horrifying scene where a young couple encounters the child Jedediah, who lures them into a deadly trap. This sets the stage for the gruesome path Jedediah will take, culminating in him donning his iconic mask and wielding a chainsaw. Jason Voorhees takes our number 4 spot as a legendary figure in horror, known for his iconic hockey mask and machete. His story begins tragically with his drowning as a young child at Camp Crystal Lake due to the negligence of the camp's counselors. This sets off a chain of vengeance that spans several films, where Jason returns from the dead to exact revenge. Jason's imposing presence and almost supernatural ability to survive any attempt to stop him make him a relentless force. His silent demeanor and the way he suddenly appears make every scene on screen with him chilling. Jason's first major appearance as the killer in Friday the 13th Part 2 is unforgettable. He wears a sack over his head and terrorizes the new batch of camp counselors, brutally enforcing his mother's revenge. It's his transformation from victim to perpetrator that cements his status as a horror icon. Brace yourself for our next one, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, the chilling character from the famous Thomas Harris novels. A former forensic psychiatrist, Lecter turns into a terrifying serial killer who eats his victims. Lecter is highly intelligent and has sophisticated manners, but his cannibalistic habits make him uniquely horrifying. His mental sharpness matches his desire for human flesh. In The Silence of the Lambs, his eerie, polite chats with young FBI agent Clarice Starling reveal his ability to manipulate while hinting at dark truths, defining their creepy relationship and our nightmares for years. Anthony Hopkins brought Hannibal Lecter to life on the screen, earning an Academy Award for his role and establishing Lecter as a horror movie icon. And at number 2, we have Michael Myers from John Carpenter's original Halloween, the epitome of a silent but deadly slasher villain. First appearing as a child who kills his sister, he grows up to haunt his hometown Haddonfield, Illinois, returning to strike terror by murdering teens. Myers embodies the boogeyman of every childhood nightmare. His expressionless white mask and the relentless way he stalks his victims add to his eerie presence. Unlike other villains who might charm or frighten with words, Myers' silence and the mystery surrounding him make him uniquely terrifying. Michael's chilling resilience is captured perfectly at the end of the first Halloween film. Despite being shot multiple times, he vanishes, leaving audiences with the haunting realization that he could be anywhere. And finally, we have Freddy Krueger from the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, our top pick for the freakiest and perhaps most famous movie villain of all time. Created by Wes Craven, Freddy Krueger was a man repeatedly hurt by angry parents and who, after death, turned into a ghost that could sneak into children's dreams. So terrifying that if Freddy scares someone in their dreams, they could get hurt in real life too. With a horrific appearance, Freddy has a burned face, wears a red and green striped sweater, a brown hat, and a signature glove with sharp metal claws. He makes dreams into living nightmares. Robert Englund is the actor who played Freddy in the movies and made him into one of the most famous villains of all time. That's it for our countdown of the freakiest movie villains. These bad guys really know how to make movies thrilling. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check under the bed tonight.